Ready?
Okay, I'm up.
Alright, no decision made in closed session.
So to finish up then,
Yeah, good morning, Doug. We are up to solar moratorium.
next, Tuesday or whenever it fits within the board schedule, we can
Okay,
have
sounds good.
an
Yep.
agenda
That's
item
fine.
to address, further decision.
Further discussion. Yep.
I don't know, am I on, you need me for any of the other matters?
Are you involved in the moratorium for solar?
I'll hang out here, I did the resolution.
Okay, that's kind of what I was
Yeah.
guessing.
So do you want that on the agenda for next week?
We should probably coordinate with EMA to see when they could do something joint, so probably not, let's
No,
Let's
for
figure-
No, I
the
thought we
budget
just,
discussion.
yeah,
all that probably should be with them too.
Yeah, but
We can't.
I was under distinct impression when the mayor was here that they wanted the money, and so you're saying you think you're gonna debate with them whether they get the money or not?
I'm just thinking that should all be talked about at the same time, but
They may agree to leave it as is for this year, it's already been, cut and save a bunch of rigmarole with amendments, expense of doing all that.
She's gotta know to do amendments pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you can't just,
so why don't you just put it on for next Tuesday,
Yeah.
just for that issue.
yeah, we have to get that budget amendment done pretty soon.
well, it's not so much that, it's the libraries have been
Right.
waiting
Yep.
and I think
Yeah.
they need,
We promised them we were going to. do
yeah,
it.
they need to
Today.
put that to bed.
If we don't keep our word are nothing.
Yeah. So, but as far as the amendment, that can be done anytime, there's no hurry on that, it's just the
Yeah,
libraries.
yep, come back in, yep.
Tell us.
alright. And Todd, you said you put together the moratorium.
the resolution,
Resolution.
yeah,
Doug
so I'll
said
sit
you
in
might
on
be-
this.
Somebody was in the office.
Okay.
I didn't bring it up here.
What's that?
I didn't bring the packet up here.
Oh, that's
The
fine.
file.
We've got it in our electronic packet, so. Resolution number for this would be
0813-2402.
Okay, and then the transfer station funds would be number 3. Okay. Okay. Has everyone seen this in the packet? Okay. Do you know of anything like time-wise for scheduling the public hearing?
I don't know what he has in mind, he's
Okay.
taking care of all that.
Okay, I didn't know if he coordinated with you for a schedule or anything at all.
No,
Okay,
So you got cows grazing in the pasture.
Yeah, it's my neighbor's Alan Seeley, that's kind of, our agreement, he, keeps my lane cleared and raises his cows on the
Nice
back.
cattle, I keep them.
Oh, yeah, exactly, he's got great cattle, yeah. It's kinda nice to have that out there, and it keeps grass down, and I've always loved cattle my whole life, so it's kinda nice to see them
Wait
out
for
there.
you to have them, but not have to take care
Yeah,
of
there
them.
you go. Yeah, I don't have to be there for calving season and all that stuff with the headaches that causes,
It's
but
kind of picturesque there on the hillside.
Yeah,
Cattle
yeah.
grazing, yeah.
not mostly, they're on the east pasture, but, yeah, it's neat, it's neat.
alright Doug, I think we're ready for the solar, moratorium.
On August 6th, last week, the board did accept the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission, so the next step is to have a hearing on the moratorium and have readings, pass those so that the ordinance will be official. So I brought a resolution to the Board of Supervisors to set a public hearing. And after that, then we'll have to get things published. I don't know.
Do you have a date in mind?
I do not.
Okay,
I,
How long do you need for publishing? Notice?
not less than 4, not greater than 20
Mhm.
days. And then whoever the board desires to handle all of the publication, readings and all of that, I guess if you would give some sort of indication on that.
Any issues with the 27th? Of August? Yeah. That gives us 2 weeks.
Well,
Well,
we
then,
wouldn't be able to publish until
Yeah.
the 21st and 22nd.
Correct.
so,
We're looking at September probably.
yeah,
September 3rd.
That's about the first day you can do it.
that's,
be right after Labor Day.
yeah, the day after Labor Day, which is not a big deal, but,
We have a meeting that day. No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on a date? Any known issues with that date at this time?
What time?
We could just shoot for 9 a.m.
9 o'clock, Doug? Does 9 o'clock work?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and the resolution number for the one that's in our packet would be 08132402. So I would entertain a motion for that resolution and specify your dates and time and location.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 08132402, setting the public hearing for September 3rd at 9 a.m.
Location,
Boardroom.
okay? Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay. Is there any discussion, questions, comments? Alright. So just to repeat the resolution, it is setting the date for September 3rd, 9 a.m. in our boardroom here. Roll call vote, please.
Plath,
Yes.
Jerks,
Abstain.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes.
Stecker.
Yes.
I make a motion that Doug does the publishing. Just kidding.
Out of order.
Sorry.
Funny, but I. Is there any discussion from the board on any of that for publication and whatnot? Otherwise,
You don't need a motion for that.
No,
no, just Doug asked for guidance, so.
If I could get that signed.
Publish the date and time and location on paper, right?
Mr. Cole, does that have a question?
The ordinance itself is also public.
yeah,
The resolution, yeah.
that's,
So that way that can be considered a reading.
Okay.
I guess it's whatever the board desires. I mean, you can have the reading 3 times and still publish it. my understanding of that anyway.
And we can waive the second and third reading under certain
There's
circumstances.
conditions, that's an opinion.
Sure.
You have to get from somebody.
I believe we can, but the specifications around it, I'm
Okay.
not here. I don't have that quoted necessarily, but I know there are situations you can.
Can the board direct, or give guidance to Doug to direct him to publish them? Is that fine?
Well, we don't have to, it's all, we've got the hearing set, so.
Well, Doug was looking for
Yeah,
guidance.
Doug asked.
Will that be paid for by the board of supervisors and the publication?
I think so. Yeah, that would come out of their budget, yeah.
Alright, next is resolution for transferring funds from the transfer station operating fund to transfer station equipment fund. Doug, do you wanna talk on that at all?
Sure, in your packet of information, there's, last year's transfer station balance sheets. We have at the transfer station what I call an operating, fund. We have our post-closure fund and we have our equipment fund. The equipment fund was established, probably 5 or 6 years ago really, where we just tried to take money out of our operating fund to make sure that we had money set away for when we needed purchases. The operating fund, we did have a little bit of a reduction. We started out with $238,769 balance, 796, excuse me, and we ended with a $229,649 balance throughout the fiscal year. And our equipment fund actually grew 30,000. So that 30,000 was transferred. We actually had about a $20,000 increase in revenue over expenses for that. But I'd recommend that the board would transfer this money. There's also in your folder just a sheet showing equipment schedule. You can see that last year, 2023, we had 8 pieces of equipment listed. This year I added a yard dog. We have a truck that's a 1999. It's actually a tandem dump truck that we converted over to a yard dog. It's 25 years old. If you look at the estimated life on it, about 20 years. So we've got our life out of that. Someday we're gonna have to replace that, and I just estimated that that'd be $75,000. Using just some straight line year depreciations. If we were trying to fully fund everything, we would need, in Doug Miller's estimate, $343,036, $37. If we transfer 30,000, we'll be up to $147,539 in the equipment fund. I've prepared that resolution, which we've done in the past, and if the board will pass that, we'll get the money transferred for that.
Just one note on the bottom where it says resolution adopted, it's the 13th
Yes,
day of August.
I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good. I just changed it on mine, so.
Yes. I don't know why when I was working on that, I was thinking that the 16th was the board's meeting.
You're probably looking at the wrong month.
Yes, I definitely was, I was looking at something else, it wasn't August. My apologies.
That's alright. Any questions from the board?
I move to approve the resolution.
Alright, is there a second?
Go ahead.
Roger has hand up.
Roger. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
No,
Oh,
you
sorry.
gotta have a roll call.
Roll call, yeah.
Plath,
Yes.
Jerks.
Yes.
Wactor,
Yes.
Nath,
Yes.
Stecker.
Yes. Alright,
Would the resolution just be 03,
Yes.
Yeah.
seeing creek fences?
Yes.
yeah, I'm sorry, should've written that off. 08132403.
Get that signature, please. I'll get those texted to you, both of those.
Thank you.
Not texted, emailed,
That would
sorry.
work better.
You can text it and then you can email
I had to do myself.
yourself. and
Yeah, I had to do that.
Go through
before.
all that, yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, construction and right away.
Yes, we do have a request from Ryan Goshi. This crossing would be on 300th Street, just west of Highway 169. We talked about it just a little bit last week at the board's meeting. Ryan and other landowners are installing a drain that comes from the east. I haven't been up 169 recently, but the last time I was there, I noticed that they were getting ready to cross. All of this is according to our policy. We have all the necessary paperwork, and I would recommend that the board would approve of this request for construction right away.
We got the tile sitting there this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they haven't, I haven't seen anything across 169, but they're up to it on
They
the,
got a trench dug there.
uh,
That one's on the west side, east side of
East side.
169.
That's
east
the
side,
last
they,
I've seen.
yeah, they stopped up to the east side. I'm assuming they're waiting for boring or whatever, but yeah. I guess I would move to approve this request. Is there a second?
I'll second.
That was close either way.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. Any discussion? Wactor. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Well,
Say-
excuse me, they're using steel underneath the road,
169,
I mean underneath the.
it'd be concrete, through, it'd be an open cut through that.
They're not using plastic with like.
No, we provide the material to them
Yeah.
per our policy.
You're not opposed, right?
No.
Okay,
I would be the plastic, that's.
well, yeah, he said it was in accordance to our policy. Okay. Is that all for right away, Doug?
Yeah, if we can have that, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is all for construction of the road right away.
Yeah, it does have in our packet 72 feet of, 30-inch
30.
glass.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Whatever, for reinforced concrete pipe, so. Alright. Up to discussion, there, Doug.
Yeah, the, bridge on the Bold Hobart Road, Merriman Bridge Construction is cleaning up on that, and they will be moving off of that. Their plans are to move off of it tomorrow. The road department needs to do just a little bit of work, and then a guardrail can be completed. And that bridge will be open to traffic. So
Okay.
soon we should have that. Merrimans are gonna go drive some piling on the bridge that is located on the north line of section 5 that was damaged by rain and redo that abutment. And then they are planning to move over to, the bridge that's under contract that would be east and south of Dana Hollendorfers. So they'll be starting a new bridge in Kossuth County next week. I'm gonna be advertising for some mechanics positions. I'm working on quotes for a truck, finishing up some insurance end of year requirements for reports, and finishing up some variances that were completed with the Board of Adjustments. The road department, we do plan to mow pavements starting Monday. We hope to have pavements mowed by Labor Day, and then after Labor Day, we're going to mow gravel roads, start for snow removal, get things ready for that.
Did you ever figure out that axle that broke on the mower track?
We've not been given a reason why.
Is that one still down, or are we still down to just one, or?
No, those have been repaired.
Okay.
We have
We had more than one.
5 that are ready to go right now, 5 mowers. We have one that we're working on, and we are hoping that the mowers will work okay. If one goes down, then it just slows up everything else. Our equipment right now, we have a lot backed up for repairs. They're working very hard at the mechanic shop trying to get things there, but it's difficult to keep up.
Alright, any questions for Doug from the board? Okay, have you received any comments or anything on the solar moratorium that we've been discussing
The
from the public?
Planning and Zoning Commission received nothing in writing, nor
I knew-
did they receive anything at their public hearing.
I didn't know if anyone had called you or contacted you.
I've not.
Alright, well, nothing else? Thanks, Doug.
Thanks.
Is Marge coming
She
in?
said she was coming in, she said okay, but I'll go.
Okay.
Correct.
No, there was only 2 ones.
Okay, that's probably what I was thinking. was it-
2 at a time, but we still have
Yeah, okay,
more.
okay.
Yeah, we have 6 total.
Mm-hmm.
Roger, you were the lone winner today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't even hear anything about it.
Looks like he called in. Good morning.
Morning.
We are ready for repair requests whenever you got Roger's prize.
Thank you, Marge.
Whenever you wanna read her off, go for it, Roger.
Yeah, I have a repair request number 94 for the year. It's in Fenton Township on drain 23. Bill Ruger got sinkhole, broken tile separation, needs repair. It was phoned in. Marge, anything more added than what you have on here? We'll have lights, we'll go over and fix it.
Alright,
I'll make a motion for Roger to handle this request.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carried unanimous.
Getting closer to 100.
We'll get there by the end of the year, pretty sure of that. Alright. Anything else you have for us, Marge, on drainage? Nothing exciting, okay. Alright, thank you. Ready for
Thanks.
discussion with our auditor?
Okay,
Easiest drainage section we've had in a while.
yes it is. So next week, we just have our regular steps, and then we have a 10 o'clock public hearing for DD4, lots 40 and 42. And then yesterday we had a lot of discussion about, urban renewal. Does we need to have something on the agenda for that for next week? Or what are we doing with that?
I should see if Elizabeth's available for next Tuesday during our meeting, or after. I think that was our next step, to ask her and have a conversation with her. So possibly another workshop with her, but
Okay,
otherwise, anyone else have anything for next step?
Well, are we still planning on doing everything separate for Buffalo Township stuff? Do we need to get that rolling, or are we going to just hold off on that until we know more about what we're gonna do with the windmills?
I mean, we can,
Cause we were gonna
Handle
keep that
that.
stuff separately anyways.
yeah, depends on the board's preferences, I mean,
So I know Doug needs some answers to get stuff rolling on that bridge,
Yeah.
so.
but he said he was gonna construct that in the spring anyway, so regardless of our timeline here.
yeah, but we have to have it certified by December 1st.
Right, right.
And I think you like to have an answer before
Well,
too long.
either way, we should still hit the same timeline
Okay.
of prior to December 1st.
Why don't you ask Doug if he wants to get bids or what he wants to do on that bridge, and if he needs a time frame to do it in, I don't know. Cause he's got, or we have to make up our mind how to pay for the rest of it that's not in.
I think that's what comes first, is he wants you to
Right.
decide how you're gonna pay for it.
We need some answers
Yeah.
before you.
Yeah,
I mean, see what Elizabeth,
Okay.
what her ideas are.
I'll check with her and see if she's available
She
next week.
obviously is not in favor of tipping, so.
No.
did you see her email though? Did you see the email Tammy forwarded? Okay, you can read that, and then we can have a conversation with her too. But
Email from Elizabeth.
It's from
Tammy-
me.
Tammy
I forwarded
forwarded
it to you guys, her response.
yesterday afternoon at
Tip dash
2,
urban renewal is the time.
yeah, 2:11 yesterday afternoon.
And then, budget amendment, are we gonna hold off with that until after you meet with EMA, or when do you want that back on to set date and time?
Well. You know, we don't wanna do two of them.
Right.
No, right.
We wanna, it's too expensive, we gotta do them all at the same time.
Mm,
Get that straightened out with EMA and then put them all together and have one.
yeah,
So our next step would be meeting with the EMA, having a special session. We
Yeah.
need to decide when we're gonna do that. And it's gonna have to
probably
be.
sooner than later, like this week or next. I don't know if we could,
Next Tuesday. I mean, we need to give them at least a week heads up.
We could see about next Tuesday.
6 PM is their typical meeting time, and that's because a lot of them have regular jobs, they need that little bit of time to get there.
If you get off at work at 5 in Ledyard, it's gonna take you
An hour.
an hour to get here.
Mhm.
I would say 6 o'clock, and then do we wanna meet here or at the?
Here.
So you're saying the 20th at
The
6?
20th at 6 o'clock.
So,
Joint meeting, board of supervisors and emergency management commission.
and who's gonna let the emergency management commission know?
I will. Make sure you include everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, include the board and everyone with the commission.
Will you tag me in that too, please?
Yes.
Yeah, and Tammy.
Thank you.
That'll be worse than better place to be down there.
We should do it here.
Here.
We should be able to do it here.
Typically, there's only 10 to 15 people that are in those meetings anyway, so we got plenty of room.
Yeah, and if some of them need a virtual option, we got all
Yes.
set up here for that too.
Typically, Carissa has Teams meetings set up for that, so we could probably do a Teams meeting for that as well.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay,
Alright,
and then, let's see, what else do I have here? I got that. So I also need to talk to Phil, when I run last end's reports, I'm not showing that we budgeted any for the transport official for mental health that Phil is doing.
oh no, we probably didn't.
So, we have negative balances in that account, for ambulance services, so we need to do a budget amendment. We'll need to talk to him to see if he has an estimate of what that's gonna cost. So I'm suggesting we add that to the budget amendment as well.
Any concerns from the board? I mean, we talked about, it, we just don't have it in line items.
So,
And that's being reimbursed by the hospital, so it's offset, so I mean, we just
have to pay for it.
need to
upfront.
have it in the
Yeah.
budget.
So I'll talk to Phil and then,
Get some figures
get
for
some
that.
figures if that's okay. Okay,
Okay,
you got lag time, so you need it in.
yeah,
yeah.
yep,
So, and then, September 10th, we have a special election for the city of Wesley. Absentee voting starts, I can't remember, 21st maybe? I can't remember the day it starts, but we are looking at getting ready for that, so I think it's the 21st, but don't quote me on that.
okay,
So we're getting ready for that. Ballots hopefully will be here by the end of the week and we'll be getting going. Absentee voting for the presidential election, the general election starts October 16th. So we're getting our stuff in order to get ready for that. And of course, the election's November 5th. So we're working on 2 elections right now, and keep them pretty busy. So, and I think that's about all I have.
alright, any questions for Tammy? Alright, board discussion, committee reports. Jack?
Nothing less, sir.
Roger? Josh?
I did not have anything.
Carter?
I had wellness last Wednesday, and we're looking to do root beer floats. We're shooting for Tuesday, September 10th. For employees, and other than that, not a whole lot going on. We are going to every other month meetings instead of monthly, moving forward, so we won't have a meeting in September, but there will be a meeting in October, will be our next one.
Okay.
It was jeans day that day, and I wore jeans without even knowing.
Without even knowing it. Look at you. Did you pay your $5?
I did not do that. Forgot about that.
Alright,
That, and then, one other thing for drainage, had an update from Colin on PAK1 that they did complete the drone flight, of the ditch. And reviewing the video, he can see most of the damaged spots from this year, from the drone flight, differences. And he's gonna take a more targeted approach on going through the ditch instead of the
Did he-
entire thing.
did he see significant damage?
Yeah, he-
Different- Or didn't comment on that?
Yeah, he said, his words is, I think I can see the worst spots on the drone flight. And they're going to put the video on YouTube so that landowners can view it.
Okay,
And then they did get a permit from the DNR to slope the banks if we desire to go that route.
okay,
That's an update there.
yeah, that's good to know.
Wow, DNR came back quick on that, didn't they?
No, it was a different one, that
Oh,
was
this
a
is a different
6 month
one?
process,
Yeah.
there's,
Okay,
there's
okay.
multiple options there.
And then I will probably be doing, just so the board's aware, maybe would like to do some televising, from this spring, what was going on in Whittemore, and have that tile televised, and so we don't dig up the street in random places, and figure out what exactly the issue is going through town there.
Do you know the water level in the tile now or anytime recently?
I haven't checked real recently, but I was gonna be looking into that and at least get that squared away so that when it's ready, if it's not already ready, we can go ahead and do that. Get
Yeah.
that taken care of for next year, so.
Yep, that'd be good.
But other than that, that's all I got.
Okay. I got the 2080 agreement that Buena Vista does for drainage, that we talked about a little bit yesterday.
Oh.
I just got that last night, so I will plan on reviewing that.
You forward that?
I have not yet, but I can.
Can you forward it?
Yep.
Forward it, yeah.
Yep, I have it in my email, Kelly sent it last night. So, that'll be something I'll be looking at, and then, I think that mostly wraps up my stuff,
Okay.
then for, discussion on Robert's Rules of Order, we had some discussion last week about that a little bit in our meeting with one of our agenda items, and then after, Roger had contacted the auditor's office about requesting a discussion here today in regards to that, and I wanted to update everyone that I called the parliamentarian that was down at the NACO conference in Florida, which I already talked to Roger about this, but, actually, so the action that was taken last week would have actually applied to section 35, which is a motion to rescind. It wasn't really a motion to reconsider, and that's what Roger was thinking, that needed someone who was on the, positive side of the vote.
To reconsider.
To reconsider, yep, so that was correct, but it applied to a different section. There was also, he also mentioned some things that the point of order during the meeting when it was actually being discussed was, the appropriate timing for it, but after the action was taken and like going into the next agenda and stuff, that time for a point of order is not appropriate. The discussion about the legalities of what we were talking about last week, he said the chair can rule out any motion due to legal reasons. If it's not in compliance with the law, then it shouldn't be entertained by a governmental body who is required to follow those laws. So, that was also a little bit he shared, but I think it would be valuable, and I talked to Tammy about ordering us some copies of Robert's Rules of Order, so we all have them handy. which if you got it, that's good, but I think it'd be good for all of us to have it handy here. But I think going forward, there's been a few conversations about Robert's Rules of Order, and I think it'd be valuable if he did a little presentation and discussion with us about it, so we can kind of start with the basics and go from there. And didn't know if you guys would prefer doing that like after a meeting on Tuesday or a separate session, or if you guys had any.
Why don't you wait until you get a new board?
Well, it'd be a possibility too, but we still have to conduct business for the rest of the year.
I prefer you just wait till the new members are on.
Because really in Robert's Rules of Order, the chairman has a lot of leeway in how he conducts the meeting and how he, if he handles objections or how he handles a request or a motion to reconsider or a motion to repeal is all up to the chairman to decide.
Well, but even for you two that are newer, and myself, I mean, when I was down at NACO, just the kind of the structure of having a main motion, and you can have an amendment, you can have up to one amendment on an amendment. And like even some of those basic principles, we haven't necessarily followed here. I mean, we've done some things loosely, but I think just general education, it'd be worth it. And I don't know what price tag that would involve. That's a question I need to ask, but he did say they do a lot of presentations remotely. So, I mean, if we just had a Teams or Zoom meeting set up and had a hour or two conversation with him, I can't imagine it would be that big of a deal, but I think it would be.
But the chair does have a lot of discrimination on what he accepts, rejects.
Discrimination.
You discriminate against or for.
Discretion, yeah,
Discretion.
Yeah.
Discretion, discriminate, yeah,
yeah,
discretion.
yeah, discretion, yeah. And I mean, I'm not trying to restrict discussion in any means. That's not the point of the chair. Is supposed to conduct the business of the meeting and allow for discussion, and that is my intent, but I do want our meetings to run a little more orderly. And I guess, I think it would be beneficial for everyone to have a little bit better understanding of the structure of Robert's Rules of Order. And there are, I mean, I think I said it before after the NACO conference, there are differences in how you handle Robert's Rules of Order with smaller boards, because we're 5. They say about a dozen or more is kind of the threshold for following Robert's Rules of Order the way they're actually written. Below that, there's some variances because typically the chair doesn't discuss or even vote, but on smaller boards you have to. So there's some variances from the actual text of the book. I don't know how clearly that's all laid out in there, but I think a hour, 2 hour overview of it is gonna be easier for most of us to digest than sitting down and reading the entire 12th edition of Robert's Rules of Order. So I got a lot of value out of the stuff down at NACO, I know that. But just wanted to open that up for discussion, get everyone's thoughts. Carter, Josh, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as far as get more education for how to run meetings is always good, because it's not, I mean, I've been coming to board meetings off and on since I was in high school, just for various things on different times. And it's never been strictly run by Robert's Rules of Order by any means, but, and you do have some flexibility. But I guess at the end of the day, kind of to Roger's point, I mean, you are the chairman, and whoever isn't the chairman is how you see best fit to run an orderly meeting within the context of Robert's rules, I guess is fine. If the board doesn't like it, then we'll pick a new chairman. I mean, it's, I mean,
Well, and there can be objections to individual
well, and absolutely,
things
and
be
that's
voted on,
perfectly,
so.
perfectly, within those guidelines. So if there's something that you think we need to implement and, or something you have an issue with on how the meeting is being run, you're more than welcome to bring it up, or we can all read a section on it or whatever, that's fine.
Robert's Rules of Order was designed for boards of more than 10 people.
But yeah, they say more than a dozen, but yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's
And
designed for
it's-
larger, like state legislature and things
Yeah,
like
It
that.
wasn't designed for county level
Right.
supervisor. I mean, it's hard to fit all Robert's Rules of Order into a 5-member board.
Well,
But,
if
but
you-
that structure still helps support conducting an orderly meeting, so.
Yeah.
No,
But
just
you
like,
can't
when-
follow it verbatim.
like I was at a convention last summer, 1,500 voting members, and if you don't run that by Robert Rules of Order, it's a disaster. I mean, you're not gonna get anything done, so
Mhm.
it's, but yeah, it is different when you only have 5 people.
Right, and that's just a piece of information that everyone needs to be aware of, but. Yeah. So. Alright, well, any other questions or discussion on that right now? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor to adjourn. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carried. We are adjourned at 9:33. Thank you, everyone.